Now, even though the snow is behind us, the freezing drizzle is a situation out there, and that warning indeed. So that could make a bit of a slick trip for wherever you're going this morning. Toronto and areas across the GTA and Golden Horseshoe are under freezing drizzle advisory. So keep that in mind this morning, that not only could your drive take a little bit longer, but also clearing off your car, your driveway, your sidewalks. You're going to be moving a certainly crusty, heavy mix of a snowpack there.
Our CP24 Steve Ryan is on Avenue Road, considered a barometer for how bad the wintry weather is. These are live images from last night. Pretty interesting. Someone taking a video with their cell phone as they're kind of stuck in that traffic there. Steve, it was a nightmare for some drivers last night. This morning, we know that the snowplows have been down Avenue Road, but how should people approach this stretch, because it is quite downhill?
Yeah, that's right. Downhill and uphill, of course. And going uphill, people are still getting stuck, not as often as we saw last night during our coverage. And that's because the roads have been plowed, but they are very, very slippery. So actually, Al, if we just grab this car going by here, look at that car with its snow on its roof and on the hood of it. That is a hazard to other vehicles and to yourself as a driver if that snow decides to break loose and come up onto the windshield. It's a very heavy ticket under the Highway Traffic Act. So my advice to anybody that's getting ready to drive today, or if you're driving right now and you hear this somehow, get off the road and clean that car off, because once that snow starts to blow off of that car, it can cause havoc to not only your vehicle, but to the vehicles behind you. So back to this road, people are managing to get up the road. Some cars are still getting stuck. The key to driving in weather like this, as we all know, is winter tires, and that's because they don't freeze as quickly as the usual rubber on a regular tire. The tread is a lot deeper, and it allows for more traction. Doesn't mean you can go a lot faster, but it does mean that your stopping distance and the control of your vehicle is that much better. Now, as far as going down the hill, Jen, gravity, of course, takes its course as well. So if you are going down a hill like this in this sort of weather, your best bet is to go off of the accelerator, cover your brake, which means put your foot on the brake. Do not use it if you don't have to. And if you do have to use it, gently and pump it slowly and softly, because once you hit that brake hard, your car is going to slide. If you're speeding going down this hill, it's going to cause you some trouble. Now, we did hear from Barbara Gray from the City of Toronto with regards to road cleanups, and here's what she said to us. Let's listen.
We've actually had accumulations from the storm of about 10 to 15 centimeters across the city. And as of this morning, we've completed a number of rounds of salting on all road types, expressways, arterials, collectors, and local roads. And we've also been plowing all road types. Most of the crews in the city are already on their second rounds throughout on the arterials and the collector roads, and we expect to have to go out for the second round on local roads and sidewalks as they finish up their first. So activity all across the city.
So very quickly, as soon as this tow truck gets out of here, the truck gets out of your way, you see that car there with the snow on its hood and on the hood and on the roof? That's very dangerous. Once that breaks off, that's going to cause havoc for the cars behind it. So just keep that in mind as you make out your day.
And you know what, Steve, that's a great point. We've been asking people about their pet peeves of, what your worst pet peeve is for people who are driving snow. And you're right, if you're behind one of these vehicles, especially on the highway, and all that snow starts flying off at you, that becomes a huge distraction and a huge concern in terms of cutting down on your visibility there. So it is just so important, not necessarily to center out this person in particular, but just to highlight the fact that clearing off the entire car, we've heard it from Carrie Schmidt time and time again, we heard from someone like you as well, Steve, clearing that off really not only helps you out, but it also helps the drivers all around you as well. Appreciate the tips there, Steve. Thanks.
Yeah, let's zoom in on the license plate there. All right. And a number of people will be in touch with their car insurance agents today. This is what it looked like in the north end of Oakville last night as the storm really intensified. There were a few collisions on Nayagawa Boulevard south of the 407. Luckily, though, no injuries are reported.
And we also chatted with OPP Sergeant Carrie Schmidt earlier about what to do if you're involved in a collision or stuck in a snowbank on the highway.
Roads still obviously are not ideal. I don't want to paint the picture that it's all fine and you can go back to your normal speeds. Those vehicles, drivers getting stuck or getting spun out, probably getting caught in some snow and slush or just some slippery conditions. I'm looking at the left lane here of the highway as well, the one that's least most traveled, and that one is still covered in snow. It is still difficult to see the lane markings, so just be careful about that and stay in your vehicle. If you can get yourself moving again, if your vehicle is damaged but still drivable, get off the highway.